welcome to another edition of 5th grade math. Today we're going to be doing lesson 6.6, which is using partial quotients, which is what we did in the last lesson, but this time our division problems may have a remainder. Alright, so we're going to create an area model for these two problems here in our Explore and Grow. It says use an area model to find 240 divided by 15. Alright, so we know our 15, so that's going to be our down. So we're going to go 15 down. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo! Alright, we made it. And remember, when our dividend, the number that we are dividing, is greater than 100, our first partial quotient we should go ahead and try is 10. So we're going to go 10 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Made it. And we're going to close up that rectangle. Okay, so this one is 10 across. Okay, so that gives us 15 times 10 is 15 with a 0, right? So 150. So now we're going to do a little math. Well, it's all math. We're going to do a little subtraction. 240, and we're going to minus our 150 to find what we still need for our second partial quotient. Okay, so 0 minus 0 is 0. Cannot do 4 minus 5. So we come over here and take 1. And this is now 14. 14 minus 5 is 9. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So our second one needs to be 90. So we need to know how many times does 15 go into 90. We know that 15 times 1 is 15. 15 times 2. 5 times 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry our 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 15 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry our 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, 45. 15 times 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. We're not there yet. We need to get to 90. 15 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Put our 5 down, carry our 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus another 2 is 5, 6, 7. Okay, not there yet. We need to get to 90. 15 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3, 6 plus 3 is 9. So there's our 90. Alright, so our second partial quotient is 6 to make our 90. So we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then close up our rectangle. That one is 6 across. Alright, so that's what you'll put in your grid here. Down below, go ahead and write your division problem. We have 240 divided by 15 equals our two partial quotients. We're going to add them up. 10 plus 6 is 16. So go ahead and write that underneath. Alright, so our second one. Can you use an area model to find 190 divided by 15? Alright, so we're going to do our same steps that we started here, or I'm sorry, that we started for this one. We are dividing by 15, so that's going to be our first one. We're going to go down. So we're going to go down our 15. And our first one over is going to be 10, right? So we're going to go over 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. And we're going to close up that rectangle. 15 times 10 is 150. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of subtraction again. 190 minus 150 leaves us with 0. 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, so 40. So we've done some of the 15s over from our previous problem. So let's look at those. We have 15, we have 30, we have 45. Okay, when you come across something like this, and you have a number that you cannot get it to go in evenly, without having something left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 15 times 2 was 30. 15 times 3 is 45. 45 is too big because our answer is 40. So we're going to go with the number that's smaller than, that doesn't go over. So this partial quotient we're going to do is 2. Okay, so we've got 2 here. We're going to go down. Down, down, down. That one is 2. 2 times 15 was 30. So this one is 30. Now, if we add those up, 150 and 30, we have 0, 5 plus 3 is 8, 1 plus nothing is 1. We have 180. We need 190. So we're going to tack on enough squares to get us to 190. So I'm going to tack on 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190. Okay. So, can you use an area model to find 190 divided by 15? The answer to this is no. Because an area model uses a full rectangle that is split. This is a full rectangle, but it's got extra. Okay, so your answer to this one is going to be no. And your reason why is because there is a remainder. If you were to just simply divide 190 divided by 15, 15 can go into 19 once. Bring down our 4. We did that, right? 15 can go into 40 2 times without going over. We have 10 left over. Okay, so our answer is going to be no, because there is a remainder. There's a remainder. The shape of the area is not a rectangle, right? The shape of this one is a rectangle. The shape of this one is not a rectangle because it's got this little extra piece hanging off of it. So, your answer is no, there is not a remainder. Or, sorry, no, because there is a remainder. You can't use an area model for a remainder. Explain to your partner, well, just explain to me on your paper, how you know that 15 does not divide evenly into 190. We know because it has a remainder. It doesn't divide evenly, we just did it. You'd need to add 10 more to your partial quotient to get there. Alright, so let's do some remainders. Or see if they've got remainders. Okay, so use an area model and partial quotients to find 475 divided by 19. Okay, so 19. We've got our area model here, and you're going to fill in these extra spaces. So 19 times what will give you 190? Well, you stick a 0 on it, right? So it's times 10. 190, 19 times what is 190? We just did it. 10. 19 times what gives you 95? Well, we can do a little bit of math. This one I'm going to go ahead and give you. It's 5. Okay. So then we fill in, you would fill in your partial quotients. They've done that part for you. You take your 190 and you subtract it from your total at the beginning, you're left with 285. Then you have another 190 partial quotient of 10, so you're going to subtract another 190, leaving you with 95. And we decided that 19 times 5 is 95, so there's no remainder here. Add up your partial quotients, 10, 10, and 5. 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. So, this one does not have a remainder. Okay, it's just simply 25. Use partial quotients to find 1,890 divided by 52. Okay, when you have a number into the thousands, you can probably safely say that you could multiply by 20 and still be there, which they have done here. Right, so 52 times 20, they found was 1,040. And then they subtracted. Which is, they got 850. Then they did by 10. 52 times 10 is 52 with a 0, 520. And then they subtracted. And got 330. The biggest number that they could get to go into 330 without going over was 52 times 6, which is 312. Once you get down here and the number that you have is less than the divisor, less than the number that you're dividing by, you're done. It's either going to be 0, like it was up here, or the number is going to be less than the divisor, and then that's your remainder, that's your leftover. So you're going to add up your partial quotients, 20 plus 10 plus 6. That's what you're going to put in these boxes. So 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 6 is 36, and then our remainder is whatever is left over down here that was smaller than our divisor. So 36, remainder 18. Make sure to write it here as well. Alright, let's look at some word problems. Okay. You have 214 seeds. You want to plant all of the seeds by putting one seed in each section of a 12-section egg carton. How many egg cartons do you need? Okay, so we're going to divide by 12. So 214 divided by 12. So they start with 10. Remember our partial quotient, the first one, if it's a number bigger than 100 and our divisor has 2 digits, you can always start with 10. So 12 times 10 is 10. 12 times 10 is 120. And then our partial quotient over here at the side is 10. Then you subtract. 214, oh my, I'm having trouble, guys. 214 minus 120, they found is 94. And so then we want to go the biggest we can without going over, which they found to be 7. Okay, so 12 times 7 is 84. And then you're going to subtract 94 minus 84 gives you 10. 10 is smaller than 12, which was our divisor. So we've gone as far as we can go. Add up your 10 and your 7 to get your partial quotients together. 10 plus 7 is 17. And then whatever is left here is the remainder. Okay, so 214 divided by 12 is 17, remainder 10. So the whole quotient is 17. So we need 17 cartons that are going to be completely full. The remainder is 10, so I need one more carton because I need to fill up a partial egg carton with 10 spaces. One carton will have 10 seeds. So I need 17 full cartons and one partial carton. So altogether I need 17 plus 1. Altogether I need 18 cartons. When you have a remainder with a word problem, you are going to need one extra of whatever. If you're grouping people together into groups of 5, and you have, we'll just do a simple one, you have 43, okay, and you're grouping them into groups of 5. We know that 5 times 8 is 40, and 5 times 9 is 45. Well, that's too big. So I'm going to have 8. I'm going to have 3 left over. So 8 remainder 3. So if I'm saying I have 43 people and I want to group them in groups of 5, how many groups will I have? You'll have 8 full groups, but you'll have one group that has 3 people in it. Well, that's another group. So altogether, you will have 9 groups. Okay, so when you've got a remainder with a word problem, pay attention to what it's asking you, because it may say how many full groups will you have, or how many, like with the egg cartons, you had 12 full egg cartons, but you needed one more egg carton to make to plant all of your seeds. I need one more group besides my 8, otherwise these 3 people are going to be left out. So I really need 9 groups. So pay attention to what the word problems are asking you to make sure that you include those remainders in your answer. So it's not going to be, I need 12 cartons with a remainder of 10. Well, that doesn't make sense. I need 12 full cartons with 1 carton that has 10 in it. I need 8 full groups and 1 group that has 3 people in it. Alright, so hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to help, and just make sure that you're keeping at it. Work on your multiplication tables, because dividing becomes a whole lot easier when you know how to multiply. So this is lesson 6.6, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye.